morning, children. Today we are going to study history second lesson. The name of the lesson is Great Thinkers and New Faiths. Children, before go to see the lesson, let us see the learning objectives. To learn the causes for the rise of new faiths in the 6th century BC, to have knowledge in the teachings of Mahavira and Buddha, to know the similarities and dissimilarities between Jainism and Buddhism, to understand the differences between Hinayana and Mahayana Buddhism, to know the influence of Jainism and Buddhism in Tamil Nadu. Children, the 6th century is recorded as an important period in the history of India because in that period only the intellectual and spiritual development came. Let us go to study in detail. First of all, when we want to study something in history, we need some sources. Here also there are some sources available to study about Jainism and Buddhism. They are literary sources. Literary sources are nothing but written evidences. When we want to study about Jainism, the Jain text is there. That is called Angas. Angas is nothing but Jain text. At the same time, when you want to study about Buddhism, the Buddhist texts are available. They are called Tripitakas and Jatakas. Is it clear? Let us see the causes for the rise of intellectual awakening and the birth of Jainism and Buddhism. We go to see now what are the reasons for the awakening of this intellectual and spiritual developments. The complex rituals and sacrifices advocated in the later Vedic period. In the previous lesson, we studied about the Vedic period, early Vedic period and later Vedic period. We already studied in the later Vedic period, they were doing the rituals and sacrifices. The kings were doing rituals and sacrifices to save their kingdom. Second thing, expensive sacrificial ceremonies. They spend more money to do these sacrificial ceremonies and all. Next is superstitious beliefs and practices that confuse the common man. There were so many wrong opinions and practices in those times. These are all confused the common man. Upanishads. We already studied Upanishads in the previous lesson. They taught us alternative to sacrificial rites were too philosophical. It's all very high language. It was difficult for the common man to understand. And the other reason is slavery, caste system, gender discrimination. All these things were the reason for the awakening of this Jainism and Buddhism. Is it clear? Now let us see first of all Jainism. The origin of Jainism. How Jainism has started. Jainism is a religious. It is one of the world's oldest religions. Now also it is there in some parts of the world. It has 24 Tirthankaras. Tirthankaras are nothing but gurus. A Tirthankara is the one who revealed religious truth at different times. They will talk about the religious truth. The first Tirthankara was Rishabha. I repeat once again, there were 24 Tirthankaras in Jainism. The first Tirthankara was Rishabha and the last one was Mahavira. Even though there were so many Tirthankaras in Jainism, but Jainism gained prominence under the Tirthankara Mahavira only during the 6th century. Is it clear? During Mahavira's period only, the Jainism developed more. Let us go to study about Mahavira now. You can see his picture now. Mahavira, in short called the great hero. His original name was Vardhamana. He born in Kundagrama near Vaishali in Bihar state. His parents were Siddharth and Trishala. He died in which place you know? Pavapuri, which is in Bihar. Is it clear? These are all the date of birth of Mahavira. Do you know the word Jainism came from where? The word Jain derives from the Sanskrit word Jina. It means conquering self and the external world. Conquering means victory. Victory of what? About ourselves and the external world. It is what called Jainism. So Jainism, the word is derived from which language? Sanskrit word Jina. Now we can study about Mahavira in detail. Mahavira was called a great hero. I told you already his real name was Vardhamana. Vardhamana means prosperous. Prosperous means wealthy. He was a Kshatriya prince. Yes, he was a prince. At the age of 30, he left his princely life and all, and he adopted him as a ascetic life. Ascetic life means dedicating the life towards God. These persons will not be having any likes in their lives. Okay. And then he undertook intense meditation. Intense meditation means very deep, prolonged, long period of meditation. Though he was a prince, he left his life. How the prince will be living? Rich life. That and all he left, and he became a saint. Okay. And he undertook intense meditation, very deep meditation. After 12.5 years of rigorous penance, how many years he was in meditation? 12.5 years. Rigorous penance means very deep meditation. He gained omniscience or supreme knowledge. What he got? He got some special power. That is what called Kevala. Omniscience is nothing but the ability to know everything or be infinitely wise. They will be a very good knowledge person. So, when did he attain all these things? After 12.5 years of meditation. Thereafter he became Jina. Jina means what? One who conquered worldly pleasure and attachment. Okay, he left all the pleasures in life and attachment towards the world. All this he left. He was started calling Jina. His followers are called Jains. The persons, those who follow Mahavira's principles, they were all called Jains. Do you know who are Jains now? Mahavira reviewed the ancient Brahmanic traditions and came up with new doctrines. He changed some of the things in Jainism. The olden things and all he changed. He renewed everything. Therefore, he is believed to be the real founder of Jainism. That's what he was believed to be the real founder of Jainism. Is it clear, children? Let us see what Jainism teaching us. Jainism denies God as the creator of universe. According to Jainism, there is no God. Basic philosophy of Jainism is ahimsa or non-violence. What Jainism teaching us? Ahimsa or non-violence. It means what? We should not hurt any living things. Ultimate aim of Jainism is attaining moksha or ending the cycle of birth, death, rebirth. We have to relive from this birth, death and rebirth and all. This is the main aim of Jainism. Jainism rejects the belief in last judgment where God, a supreme being, decides who goes to heaven or hell. We all will say that God only will decide where we will go at last. But according to Jainism, it is not true. Okay. Jainism advocates that the goodness or quality of one's life is determined by one's karma. So what Jainism says, Jainism advocates that the goodness or quality of one's life determined by one's karma. If your life will be very peaceful means it is what you did. That is what called karma. Okay. What is karma, children? Karma is, I tell you the definition, the belief that a person's action in this life determine the quality of his or her later part of the current life and the next incarnation. It means what? What are the actions you do in this life will decide the later part of your current life and the next birth also. So, if you do good things now means you will be leading a very good life at last stage of your life and also in the next birth also. It is what called karma. Your karma is good means your last stage of life and the next birth also will be good. It is what called karma. Is it clear? Now let us see what is Triratnas or three jewels. According to Jainism, Mahavira exhorted the threefold path for the attainment of moksha. How do we get moksha? Mahavira says to follow this. What are they? Right faith, right knowledge, and right action. When you follow these three things, we will attain the moksha. Moksha is the liberation from the cycle of birth and death. That is what moksha, children. We will be having birth and death repeatedly. When you want to come out from that, means that is called moksha. When you want to get this moksha, we have to follow these three things. What are they? Right faith, right knowledge, right action. These are all called Triratnas. Who has given this? Mahavira. Is it clear? Next we can go to see Jain Code of Conduct. Mahavira asked his followers to live a virtuous life. Virtuous means disciplined life. For that, he preached 5 major principles to follow. Preached means to make a speech about how to live a disciplined life. According to him, there are 5 principles to follow. What are they? Let us see. The first one is Ahimsa. Ahimsa means not to injure any living beings. We should not injure, hurt any living beings. Satya, to speak truth. We must speak always truth. Astaya. Astaya means not to steal, not to take others' things. Aparigraha. It is also not to own property, not to own others' property. It is. Okay. Then the last one is Brahmacharya. It means celibacy. Should not get married. So, we must follow all these things to lead a disciplined life. Who says this? Mahavira. Gautama Swami. Who was Gautama Swami? He was the chief disciple of Mahavira. Disciple means follower. He compiled the teaching of Mahavira. Compiled means collected. Whatever Mahavira taught to us, he collected. Who? Gautama Swami. He collected everything. It is what called Agama Siddhanta. Is it clear, children? Jainism is split into 2 sects. They are Digambaras and Svedambaras. What are they? Digambaras and Svedambaras. What is Digambaras? Digambaras are orthodox and conservative followers. It means they are very, very strict followers of Jainism. The monks of the Digambara sect, monks means what? The saints of Digambaras. They do not wear any clothing. You can see that in the first picture. And they live naked. They are forbidden to have any kind of possessions. They should not have any property with them. Is it clear? The Digambaras believe that woman cannot achieve nirvana or liberation directly. According to Digambara, woman cannot get liberation or nirvana directly. I repeat once again, Digambara sect. They are very strictly followers of Jainism. They will not wear clothes. They will not keep any property with them. The next category is called Svedambaras. Svedambaras are considered progressive. Their thoughts are highly forward. Okay. The monks of Svedambaras, monks means the saints. They wear white color robes, white color dress only. In the second picture you can see. They will wear everything white. They are permitted to keep some of the properties with them. What are they? Broom with woolen threads. A broom which is made with woolen threads. And begging bowl and a book. These are all called, the broom is called Rajoharana. So these three properties they can keep with them. Svedambaras believe that women are equally capable of achieving liberation as men. According to Svedambaras, like men, women also equally achieve the liberation. Is it clear? Next we can see reason for the spread of Jainism. Why Jainism spreaded? What is the reason? Let us see. First of all, use of people's language. Jainism, they preach in simple language, which can be understood by the people easily. Next one, intelligible teaching. The teachings were very intelligent. Support from rulers and traders. Those time the kings were supporting Jainism and the traders also supporting Jainism. Perseverance of Jain monks. The Jain monks